This time we'll call the December 22nd, 2025 council meeting to order. Please rise if you can for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Make a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unheard. Presentations. Sheriff's Office.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Merry Christmas. November, we responded to 404 calls for service in our city. Deputies handled 4 assaults and 4 theft reports. We made a total of 38 arrests for miscellaneous offenses and 117 traffic stops were conducted, which resulted in 17 citations on our roadways. A couple of our notable calls on the 3rd of November at 5:47, Deputy Gagno responded to Quick Trip on a report of a male inside the store yelling and throwing items. He arrived and learned of a domestic that had occurred inside of the store. He watched the surveillance video and saw a male throw items off the shelves and take a Red Bull without paying. Deputy Gagno conducted follow-up at a nearby residence after observing the suspect's vehicle parked in the driveway. He attempted to speak with the male, but the male was irate, yelling and swearing in the front yard. The male was arrested for theft and damage to property and was transported to jail. On the 22nd of November at 9:16 p.m., our deputies were made aware of a male who had a felony warrant out of Anoka County for fleeing in a motor vehicle. This male was staying at an address in the 1600 block of 209th Avenue Northeast. Our deputies formulated a plan to arrest this male and drove to the residence. On arrival, our deputies observed this male standing in the driveway outside of the home. The deputies approached the male and advised him that he was under arrest and to get on the ground. The male was confused and surprised, but eventually did comply. He was arrested without incident and transported to our jail on the active warrants. And then finally on the 30th of November at 8:50 p.m., Deputy Borgeson stopped a vehicle in a driveway of a residence in the 198 Hunter block of Wild Rice Drive Northeast. After running the plate and learning that the registered owner had a revoked driving status, as soon as the deputy made the stop, the driver quickly got out of the car and began walking away to a detached garage on the property. A resident inside of the home confronted Deputy Borgeson and inquired why he was stopping the vehicle. The homeowner was advised what the issue was, but remained non-compliant. Our assisting deputies set up a perimeter around the home and checked the area on foot without locating anything. While applying for a search warrant for the detached garage, permission to search the interior was granted by the homeowner. Our staff entered the garage and arrested the driver and charged this person with flee on foot, driving after revocation, and displaying revoked plates. We took a second person into custody during the course of this incident for obstructing the legal process. Both were transported to jail and released to staff without further incident. So this is November in a nutshell. So as we head into the holiday season, I just want to take the time to remind everybody to stay safe on our roads. Winter weather can be unpredictable, so please drive with caution. And if your celebrations include alcohol, please plan ahead for a sober ride home. So Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Fire Department.
Mayor, members of the council, thank you for allowing me to give you an update on what's going on at the fire department. For the month, I set these updates up based on the last time we talked. So this is the month, it's not the November or October, whatnot. We had 61 calls as of the time that I submitted this for the agenda. From Friday till Sunday, so Friday morning, this past Friday morning until Sunday night, we had approximately 17 calls. So we're looking at 78 calls instead of the 61 that were submitted. Couple of the notable, notable calls, we had a structure fire on the 5th of December. that displaced 3 people and 1 dog. We were able to contain it to the structure of origin. The investigation is still pending. The parties were put in touch with Red Cross, and they were able to find shelter after that. We've also seen an uptick in mutual aid requests for other fire departments, notably Andover on the 9th of December, and then on the 19th. Some of the projects that we have going on, the floors are still an ongoing project. They are complete at stations 2 and 3, and they look fantastic. Polytech is doing an amazing job. They've done half the floor at Station 1. That has cured. Station 1 looks great. They're going to be finishing that up. Hopefully they'll finish the floor up next week, and then they'll come back on a weekend to do the hallways and ancillary rooms. But they've been putting in a lot of work. They're getting it done. We're getting tools ordered that we need to replace. The new 4-gas monitors that we need to replace, they're all in. They came in today. So those will be getting put into service in the coming days. And then a couple of fun things that we had happen. The Santa Parade happened. Firefighter Mike Howe put that together. He put together the routes, coordinated all the volunteers that went on that. They were able to gather 891 pounds of food for NACE, and that was dropped off shortly after that parade. And then for the East Bethel Fire Department members, we had the kids' holiday party, which included breakfast, making cookies. Santa stopped in, handed out presents. It was a lot of fun, a lot of food, a lot of happy kids.
What day was that?
That would have been the 6th. Any questions?
Any word on ice thickness, ice safety?
I haven't heard what any of the lakes are out there. Sheriff, anything? I would say it's still earlier ice, even though we've experienced some significant cold. You should always be checking the ice before you go out and as you go out. So, but I haven't heard any numbers.
Okay. Any word on our upcoming fire department breakfast in January?
I don't have any dates for that yet. I know that's still being coordinated.
Okay. I know it's being pulled together, and it's something we always look forward to.
And we'll make sure that we get that information out on our Facebook page and however else we can share it.
Okay, great.
How's the duty crew working out?
The duty crew, it's not getting staffed the way we want it to. When it comes down to is we don't have the daytime personnel to do it. Those that are able to are signing up as they can. We just don't have enough people during the day to staff those. We're keeping them open. We're keeping the program going. We're taking advantage of people when they're able to. You know, we're getting tasks accomplished that would otherwise take myself and Deputy Chief Uden out of the office and away from the administrative tasks that we're doing. But there's just not enough daytime staff to fill those shifts. But those that are doing it are contributing at a high level, and it's greatly appreciated by us.
That's good.
Thank you.
No other comments? All right, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Item 4C, the public hearing on the ordinance change.
Excuse me, can I just leave the open door? I just want to give thanks to everybody here, and I was a little late because I was writing this.
We haven't done public forum yet.
Yeah, we haven't had the public forum and
You want to sign up?
Sorry, I thought public came after that.
We haven't had that yet, no.
Just sign up.
all right. Public hearing.
Mr. Mayor and Council, we have a request for a public hearing on an ordinance amending Chapter 66, Article 6, Section 66-165 of the East Bethel Code of Ordinances relating to sidewalks and trails in the city of East Bethel. In the Section 66-165 of the City Code guides installation of sidewalks and trails in new developments. And we had some discussion here in 2025 with the Parks Committee and Council. Also, I believe, discussed this in a work session, essentially looking at a recommendation for a trail dedication fee of $1,500 per unit. There was talk of park dedication as well, but this just relates specifically to trail dedication at this point. We did not have that defined in our code up until now, and it's your choice if you want to do that. But justification for the need of trail dedication fee is based on lack of funding to cover the cost of trails already in the park capital improvement plan. And the city does have a plan for construction of these trails by utilizing general fund transfers as need be as that fund builds over time. But in order to get this even to a point of deciding on it, we'd need to conduct a public hearing, and that's what we're here for this evening.
All right, before council has any discussion, I'll open up the public hearing for any response from the public. Anybody want to talk about it?
Just say something really short, that's
Okay.
okay? Hi, I'm Joe Ryder, 19207 Staple Street. This dedication fee has been a long time in the works. I think that other councils and other council members have been working on this for almost 10 years, trying to get this put into paper. And so I can't express how happy I am to finally see this this trails dedication fee. We've talked about parks and trails, and this is really an awesome opportunity. So I'm hoping that you guys approve this, because we'd like to see our city connected. So thank you for everyone that's worked on this. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I know a lot of other residents are really excited about this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Any other comments? Hearing none, this part of the public hearing is closed. Council discussion.
I have a question. The cash in lieu of trail construction shall be set and presented in the city fee schedule. Is that in the fee schedule that is in a later part of this packet? Is that the fees? Because it didn't look like it was enough to me. I mean, if a developer has to put in a trail, it's going to be way more than the $1,500 per unit. So I'm a little confused on that. I just want to make sure that it's going to be a fair amount, like exactly or close to what that trail is going to cost.
Wow, computer's going crazy.
I believe Parks went over this and they presented it to us and they believed it was enough. And we talked about it at our work session and kind of came to agreement, I believe.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor and Council, I'll be honest with you, $1,500 is not going to get you very much in a trail. The reality is that trails are very costly, and communities that have extensive trail networks have extensive replacement costs for those trails. So the question then becomes, from a policy standpoint, is this something that you want to provide the residents as an amenity for living in East Bethel? You'll read in there about pedestrian safety and that sort of thing. Gets people off the roads, distracted drivers. Generally speaking, where there are trails, people want more trails, so that they can be connected to every aspect of the community as possible. For exercising or just general mobility or whatever the case may be. $1,400, I think, was established based on what other communities are charging. Part of the concern is you don't, there's lawsuits out there right now in terms of what people are charging, and there's pushback if you charge too much. I think right now it's probably advantageous to, if you're going to consider this, kind of replicate what other communities have done in terms of the amounts. But there should be a realization that trails generally are placed on top of cleared dirt. The soils aren't corrected. There's tree roots. They tend to degrade at a rate faster than your road system would, which means that they'd be replaced at a rate faster than your road system would. What some communities do is they buy trail machines, pavers, literally, that they can do it themselves based on the cost. Very expensive, but again, it's one of those community benefits that I would say people have come to expect, and from a policy standpoint, you need to decide if that's what you want to build towards. Obviously, $1,500 per unit is not going to get you there anytime fast. $10,000 per unit probably wouldn't get you there anytime fast, but it does provide some sort of an investment over time, and then as that account grows, it can pay back the general fund if we've made advance payments, or it could grow to a point where you've got a, for example, with Capstone coming in, we require them to put in their own trails. But there are communities out there that weren't required to put in trails in the past that we would probably be focusing on with this type of revenue to try and connect these areas as best we can. East Bethel has a unique characteristic in terms of a lot of wetlands, a lot of water, a lot of heaving. There'll be some replacement costs, no question about it.
So my concern really isn't the price. My concern is that a developer, if they have the choice, is going to do that cash in lieu of putting in a trail. So I just want to know which, like Capstone, mandatory, good deal. I like that.
Right.
Some developers need to be mandatory trails regardless. And I don't know where the distinction is in this. I think we need something that says if you have more than 5 houses, you must put in a trail if it's, certain size lots. Because I think certain areas, we don't want a trail down off of that little place off of East Bethel Boulevard. I don't think a trail would be a good idea right there. But Capstone, yes. Elevage area, yes. More dense, yes. But I think something needs to be said so that a developer can't say, this says I can give a cash in lieu of. So where is that stipulation? Where is the distinction of when they have to and when they don't?
Mr. Mayor and Council, I think that's part of the discussion that you'd have with the city at that point when you're coming forward with a plan to build something. We would talk through those specific situations. When you're approving a plat, you do have control over some of this in terms of saying, you need to include these components in that plat. If it's a developer building 1 or 2 homes or whatever the case may be, at that point, you're right. It just doesn't make sense to, put in a small segment of trail that has no beginning and no end. So I think from staff standpoint, we would know, kind of where the plans are for trails and connectivity, what would make sense, and even the city might want to contribute, to maybe a portion of a trail that's missing, so that now it is connected. That might make sense at that point, but certainly on the smaller scale, you might have, you would probably expect the smaller operators to pay the $1,500. The larger operators want those trails. I mean, you talked to Capstone today, we just had a meeting with them today. They absolutely want those trails in there because people are demanding it. And it's an amenity that, that they look forward to when they're purchasing their properties. So, I don't know that we can pare it down to 5 or 4 or 3, you know, I think, you know, when you're arguably a smaller developer, at that point we'll have an honest conversation with them. If you're a large developer, it's mandatory at that point.
Traditionally with park fees, the parks commissions have had extensive discussions about whether they would like to see a park in a particular new development or if they would rather receive the cash in lieu of the park. So I would think that this would be another area that the parks would discuss and decide whether if a trail would be appropriate in this area based off of staff information or if they'd rather just take cash.
I agree. I just don't want to see a situation where we want somebody to do a trail and a developer says, I will sue because your documents say I can do cash in lieu of. That's my total point, so.
At that point, and the attorney can certainly correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you do have some control over the approval of the final plat.
Okay.
And just like, you know, I think the prior council, when they were looking at approving the plat for Capstone, they wanted to put a few more park benches in or different amenities, and generally they're open to that, you know, to try and get that, just get it closed and so they can continue on with their work. But I think you have some flexibility there as a council to encourage certain directions.
Thanks.
All right, any more? We have a motion for this resolution?
So right here is the new fee that you were asking about in the fee schedule for this evening.
Yeah.
2,500 on the park dedication. Is that 3,500 or 2,500? Let's zoom in here. Uh-oh. No, I did it. 3,500 for single-family lot park dedication, 1,500 for single-family lot trail dedication. No. There you go.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that we approve amending Chapter 66, Section 66-165 in the East Bethel Code of Ordinances relating to sidewalks and trails.
I'll second it. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
This is D on the consent agenda though, right? Or is that something different?
That's something different. This is for the public hearing.
D is all
The fee adoption is all of them included
Okay.
in there. Yeah.
Got it.
So this is just, the public hearing was for changing the ordinance.
Right.
Yep. City code.
So again, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? None being heard. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None heard. Motion passes. Public forum. Mr. Ritter.
So I normally don't show up unless I have something contentious to say, but I'm only here to grant you guys all good tidings. And I want to say good evening, Mayor, council members, Matthew, city staff, and fellow residents. I'd like to take a moment to formally thank the East Bethel City Council and our public servants for their work accomplished in 2025. This year, the council took meaningful action that strengthened local control while responding to how residents actually live and work. The ordinance is adopted in 2025, modernized zoning to allow practical rural housing options such as barn dominiums. It supported responsible rural agricultural use through rezoning decisions. It corrected longstanding infrastructure issues like street renaming, and established park and trail dedication that we just heard about. That money was a significant increase in park and dedication. Previously, landowners and developers were paying a very minimal amount compared to our other cities. And this increase is gonna really help our Parks Commission to build and fund our parks. So for all the families out there watching, this is a big improvement for our city. These actions reflect thoughtful governance grounded in the character of our community. The financial incentive to serving on the council for the majority of you is very low. The pay is low. The cost of being constantly accessible to an ever-growing community is very high. That's why I want to give a specific thank you to those of you who have prioritized constraint in spending and service growth, and for your commitment to keeping our community's budget in check. It hasn't been easy when we look at our other communities that are surrounding us. It's been very hard for them. Financial stewardship was a clear success in 2025. Thank you, Matt Look, for making this possible. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for maintaining a strong and growing fund balance, a clean audit, and adopting a balanced budget and levy on schedule. This is rarely seen among other communities, but you guys got the work done and collaborated together. I also want to recognize the work done beyond ordinances and budgets. Public safety staffing was strengthened in the fire department. I want to thank you, Fire Chief. Equipment investments were made deliberately and within budget. And there is a clear funding source moving forward for the improvements of city facilities and parks without higher cost to current residents. This again is really hard for most communities to bear, but I think the collaboration within our community should be recognized, because despite disagreement, all of this work is done, and it's done quickly in our community. Community engagement increased through town halls and open public processes. The city newsletter had gone silent for a while, and I was very happy to see these communications in my mailbox this year. I know other residents are very happy to hear your voices as council members and saying what you think matters and putting your personality in those newsletters. They're very important to us as a community and keeping ourselves together. None of this could have happened without highly engaged city employees. I can't thank them all, and hopefully, Matt, you do. But specifically, I want to thank you for supporting them and being a manager they can trust. There's been very little office turnover since you have arrived, and I think you're running this city very well. And so I really want to thank you. There's a larger group I'd ask for applause, but hopefully people are applauding online. Our local government success is measured less by headlines and more by steady progress, sound decisions, and responsible use of public trust. In 2025, I think we have accomplished all of these in East Bethel. On behalf of our residents who appreciate this work and understand its relentless effort, I'm here tonight to say thank you for your service, your professionalism, and your commitment to this community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Joe.
Item 6, consent agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I
And
have
I'd
a-
like to pull item C, D, E, and H.
I want to pull H as well.
C, D, E, and H.
Yes.
I'd like to pull A.
A. I'm going to pull L. So I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of the consent agenda as amended?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None heard. Item A.
One second to get that page. Item A, starting on page 22. We are paying somebody $422 to check for water leaks. What's that all about? It's leaking. Now we're checking for leaks? What's going on with this?
You try and find where you're at here.
Page 22.
top.
Right on top.
Click on this thing.
You remember what that was for?
Water leak checks. I do not know what that has been for, but I can get that to you and
Perfect.
get a response for that.
Page 23. We had 24 to 25 vehicles all needing, what is this? Registration tabs? What's going on here? Do they all do at the same time? Because I don't remember seeing this on any other budget the last couple of years.
Yep. I can clarify that too, through Nate. This is through Nate's department.
All right. Page 25, we are paying $5,000 for water meters. Is that in the new development? Are we
Nope.
replacing?
No, generally speaking, we buy bulk water meters and then we charge them back to the developers.
Okay,
So we keep them on hand so we don't have to wait for the
all right.
turnaround.
Same thing on page 25. I'm curious how we spend $947 on trash bags and paper towels. Is this a purchase for the whole year?
I would have to double check and see why so much was purchased, but
You got a great deal on it, or it just seems like
Truckload sale.
a truckload sale. Let me see. And I am curious, page 26, our carbide blade inserts and our plow cutting edges, we've only been out plowing a couple times. Were they just old, or, I mean, did we cut down too low, or, I mean, it just seems weird that we have a snow plow or a snowfall, and also we're buying all these,
we buy them every
Inserts.
year.
do we?
Yep.
And used on page 27, a V plow?
We purchased a V plow, it was a used V plow for the Bobcat because sometimes plowing with the snow blower just doesn't quite cut it, no pun intended.
Got it. All right. That would be it. So with that being answered, I move to approve item A.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on it?
I just got one question. When this changed, before we used to have everything itemized, and then we had information on the back explaining what they are. When did we decide to me, this looks like a mixed up mess, just trying to find things, and then you gotta try to interpret what you're talking about. I think the time before, it was a lot easier to figure out, because on a lot of these spots, stuff are, in and out, where before we had the fire department, a certain thing, and then we'd have public works, and then we could look to the back if we had questions. So when did we decide to do this?
Mr. Mayor and Council, we had, the prior way of doing it was equally complicated, and so we tried to summarize it in this format here, which was easier to read, and we supplied both at that time, and then we thought we should just provide this summary version, but if you want us to go back to the other one, I know it'll create more confusion.
Well, I think you're close, okay? If we could get this version just attached to the department, then we got it.
Okay, I'm not sure the computer program will allow that, but we can certainly chat with Mike to see if that's a feasibility.
Yeah, because otherwise you're ping-ponging back and forth, and it's like, what the heck is that? You know, we can keep
Well,
it together, it'd be a lot easier.
Yeah, this is alphabetized by vendor,
Right.
so.
Departments is a lot easier to concentrate on, I think. It's my thought. See if you can figure that easier. That'd be great. That's all I got.
All right. Any other discussion? None being heard. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None heard. Motion passes. Item B, I think, was the next thing.
C. Item C was the,
Okay.
oh, yeah, we did. We're on C, right?
Meeting minutes? Mm-hmm.
I was absent, so I need to abstain from these, so somebody else.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from December 8th, item C as in cat on the agenda.
Second.
Discussion, I'll bring in, there's two deals highlighted in here. One's on page 41, where we didn't get the last name of the manager for Capstone Homes. And I think Matt's got it now, so if he just supplies it, I'm fine with that, along with there's another deal down further.
So that's Backridge's.
Yep, Backridge's, Bakritiges.
And then down further is the address for Bruce Lawrence.
Yeah,
Maybe it's up further.
should be page 37.
Right there. You have that address?
Yeah, that address is 2522 223rd Lane, Northwest Oak Grove.
Okay. So the motion would need to include both of those changes?
Yes, that motion will need to include the
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes okay. We already have a motion. I'll amend my motion to include the changes as presented by the mayor.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
None heard. Item D.
Item D is the fee schedule, and I just have two questions. The first one is the fees for all the cannabis going on, all those different issues. I don't even know what some of those things mean on those different cannabis things, but I am of the opinion that every single one of them should be the same price of $500. I don't understand why there are different fees for similar issues, similar startups and stuff. So my suggestion is either make them all the same price or explain why there's such a variety of fee schedules for similar stuff.
Mr. Mayor and Council, I would need to validate this response. However, my assumption is these fees are established by the state because I do not believe we came up with them.
Oh, didn't even dawn on me. So can we table
wouldn't
this?
know- We wouldn't know how to establish the fees on this. So, but I can double check on that for you if you'd like to confirm that.
Okay, I'll make a motion to table the, fee schedule, but before I do that, I want to talk about the water fees. I was looking at all the different price per 1,000 gallons between, I think Blaine's like $1 something for 1,000 gallons, and we're 3 something for 1,000 gallons, and Whispering Aspens is like 13 plus some change for 1,000 gallons. Why the big variety? I mean, can't we reduce this to help some of our residents? That's just such a wide price range. It kind of boggles my mind that we would charge so much. It's even in our city, $13 to $3 and something. That's a huge difference.
Where on here are you referring to that?
The Whispering Aspens, the
Page 45.
45. Oh man, this computer. So, Mr. Mayor and council members, the fees are established based on usage, and they're established based on what it costs to operate our system. If Blaine has a larger system, a lot more users in their system, their fees will be lower because they can spread it amongst other people. We establish it based on a depreciated cost. So essentially, what it's going to take to replace this system in 50 years, we need to be putting that money away into our water fund to ensure that it doesn't fall on a a bond type of scenario to do that, but we in fact have the dollars there to replace it. The fees are what the fees are. You can certainly reduce fees if you want to. I wouldn't advise that, only because you're going to have a deficiency in the future. So chemicals cost what chemicals cost, labor costs what labor costs. You divide it over all the users annually, and this is the fee that it takes to operate. Once you have more people coming online, such as Capstone, you can defray those costs, and costs will go down for folks.
But can you explain why within our city it's so different?
There's a negotiated deal for Whispering Aspen that their costs would be higher based on the system that they have up there. That's been the way it's been. Staff would love to normalize those fees, but that's the way it's been established up there, that those fees are different than all the rest.
It's my understanding, excuse me, that if for each house added to that area, it will reduce pricing. So as that development actually fills in and fills up another 50 houses or something, that's gonna come down a considerable amount.
Mr. Mayor and Council, that's generally the way we operate, is we don't make money on this, we cover our costs. So.
Okay.
And the cannabis, by the way, is state statute. So those fees up there are state statute.
All right. Well, I guess with that, I'll make a motion to approve item D on the consent agenda.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None heard, motion passes. Item E.
Item E is the renewing the contract with our secretary, and they're increasing for the minutes and stuff, and they're coming in to increase. I just want to know if we've checked any other companies that do this to see if their pricing is equivalent, less, more.
We have not, Mr. Mayor and Council, sent out an RFP for this. This is a 3.5% increase. I'm not sure from a history standpoint if we've done these checks before and these are the cheapest ones out there. But I'm assuming that we would have gone with the lowest, most responsible provider at that point. We can go through that that process, and sometimes if there's no one to bid on it, your current provider could bid higher than they're currently charging if they know what the market is. So it's not always a lower price when you go out for bid, but from what I would doubt that there's a lot of services out there that do this.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
With that, I'll make a motion to approve item E on the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None heard. Motion passes. Item H.
Item H is a vacancy of our planning commission. And I just want to say thank Tanner Balfany for his service. And with that, I'll make a motion to approve item H on the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
I got a question on H. We filled that position last meeting, right?
No. No, Tanner recently resigned at the
I
last
know
meeting.
that, but we voted someone in last time.
Yeah, that was Gerald Tia. So Tanner's resignation is another new opening.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
So, and I'd just like to thank Tanner as well. He's been serving on the planning commission since 2011. I served with him back in those days, and he's always done a very good job. Very level-headed individual, and be sad to see him go, but I wish him all the best with all his future endeavors.
Any further discussion? None being heard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None heard. Motion passes. I pulled item L due to there was no monetary number put in there for this. And now during the work session, we come to a consensus on agreement with the 8,400.
So a $400 increase, Mr. Mayor.
Yep. So I just want to make that, I'll make the motion to approve this at 8,400.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? None being heard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None heard. All right. Staff report.
Mr. Mayor and Council, just a couple of items to note here. I wanted to report that we have done all the employee evaluations. They are completed and filed away for the year. We'll do that again next year around the same sort of time. Wanted to also let you know that we have received back the appraisal on 1347 Sims. We've also received the Phase 1 environmental analysis on that, and there are no surprises there. So the appraisal, of course, came in under the value, and the Phase 1 didn't identify any contamination on the site. There is a closing for this property that is scheduled in February or earlier, and so wanted to make you all aware that we're on track for that, and then once we take possession of that property, then we can determine what we want to do with that. If we want to keep the house on there, level it, make it pad ready for, I don't know, Culver's or someone else like that. So anyways, want to give you an update on that. Also want to give you an update on the court. We had a court hearing this morning, and the courts have decided to stay their decision today, and in lieu of another pending court case that will be heard, and they're assuming that topic will be covered then in the second court. So no impact or changes or anything, decisions yet on this. They're just choosing not to decide until the following proceeding that's going to come. And then I just want to thank the council and mayor for the hard work this year. This is our last meeting of the year, provided we don't have any special meetings. But I really want to thank you guys for the hard work. I mean, we have, as Joe kind of indicated, it's been a lot of work this year. Lots of things have come before you, a lot of decisions, and you've put the time in. You've read the packets, you've come prepared, had good discussion, And I really want to thank you for that. That makes our job as staff easier. And thank you for the trust as well. We really appreciate that, and we come to you with as much information as we have, and try and present the pros and cons, and give you the best of both worlds on the pros and cons, and you guys, as I say, make the big bucks, so you get to make those decisions.
Yeah, right.
But anyways, I do want to thank you for your hard work this year. Look forward to a good year in 2026, and wish you all a Merry Christmas. That concludes my report.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Council reports.
I have something, a couple of things actually. So the city had an amazing tree lighting, and I wasn't here at the last meeting, so if it was discussed, that's great. But I do have a question regarding that, because when I was trying to get this going last time I was on city council, so I am so happy to see we're having an annual Christmas tree lighting here now. But I offered to purchase a live tree and plant it, and it was refused by the city. And now I'm told that the city is allowing it. So I'm just wondering why the change. And I'm thankful to whoever else is going to buy it, but I just am wondering why the change, and that we didn't have room before, but now we do have room.
Well, Mr. Mayor and Council, we didn't want you getting mad at us, so we thought we'd, no, I'm kidding. As you'll recall, there was a tree out in front here that was kind of getting in the way with the flag, and kind of grew too large, and so that was removed. So there is space out there now, and I think Dallas just came to me and said, hey, is there a possibility of doing this? And of course, we want to please Dallas. He's a great guy.
He is.
But we did check with Nate, and Nate thought that was a feasible thing to do as well. I think, I think our only concern is some of these trees can grow pretty big, but in the event 10, 15 years from now, if it's too large, we can maybe sell that one to the city of Anoka. They put a huge tree up every year and bring it in with a crane, but and then plant another one and do it all over again. So I think
Perfect.
I think rather than having one that tips over in the wind, or you have to try and tie down, it would probably be perfect to have a nice tree out there. So.
All right, well, I'm loving that idea. My next question has to do with the community center over there, the cleaning contract. Do you know when that's up, and are we going to do a RFP for it? RFP?
Yeah, so.
Because they're not doing very good. And I don't know how often they clean, but you'll see a dead bug in one place, and that dead bug is still there a month later. So it's the floors don't look good. I mean, we sweep after every meeting we're there. We wipe our tables down, but the floors and it's hard to do much with those floors anyways. And do they clean the kitchen? And it's just certain things. Maybe we could get somebody better. And I've noticed these bathrooms over here aren't immaculate either, so it's not just over there.
Mr. Mayor and Council, we've chatted about the cleaning contract in the past. It is a function of how much we are paying for it over there. We're not asking them to do a lot over there. I agree the flooring is suspect. Perhaps we can take a tour of the fire station floors, and maybe that'll give us some ideas of what we can put in over here. But we did look at that with the prior council. I think it was $35,000 to do that entire area, which would seal everything, make it easy, highly durable, slip resistant, all that sort of thing, which would be good. But if you would like us to increase, the Bill's Cleaning is the one that does it now. I think he does a fair job for what we pay him. We do not pay a lot. And as I think council is pretty conservative on what we want to spend on some of these contracts. If you want us to double it, or increase it, we certainly can. But it wouldn't come without a cost.
I know each facility is different. What he does at the fire department is different to what he does here versus what he does over there. So,
Yeah.
and what you ask for is what you're going to get the cost for.
I think he does a fair job for what we pay him.
Okay, well, I know a lot of the seniors, every time I'm in that meeting, they complain about the cleaning. The other thing I want to do is announce that the January meeting, which is the third Thursday in January, there's going to be a chili cook-off. So if people want to come and taste a whole variety of chili, and afterwards we're supposed to be playing some games and just more of a social type meeting. So you're welcome to come and meet some people. That's all I've got.
I've got something here. I wrote something up here, and I mean this, and I would like to take this moment this evening to express my sincere gratitude to the people who make East Bethel the community we are so proud to call home. I want to thank our city staff, our public works crews, the administrative team who work every day behind the scenes to keep this city running smoothly. Your dedication, professionalism, and commitment do not go unnoticed. I also want to thank our first responders, our fire department, our firefighters, the police officers, emergency personnel, who stand by ready at all hours to protect and serve our very own residents and help out other neighboring residents when they need help. Your willingness to step forward in difficult moments is deeply appreciated, and we are grateful for the sacrifices not only you make, but your families also make throughout that year. To our residents, thank you for believing in East Bethel, for investing in this community, and for choosing this city to make your home. Your involvement, your trust, and your care for one another are truly what define this city and make it great. It's a great place to live, a great place to work. It's also a great place to raise families. I'd also like to recognize our local volunteers, our boards, our commissions, and our community partners who give their time and energy to support East Bethel. Your service strengthens our city in ways that matter every single day. So on behalf of myself, and I believe the rest of this council, we want you to have a happy, healthy, and safe holiday season. And may this time be filled with peace, reflection, and time spent with those you care about. Thank you all for everything you do for East Bethel. That's what I have.
Merry Christmas.
Very well said. Merry Christmas to everybody and a Happy New Year.
We got a planning commission meeting tomorrow night here in the chambers, and otherwise, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to everybody. It's been a heck of a year.
All right, at this time, we'll be going into closed session. The city council previously met during December 8, 2025 council meeting in closed session to conduct the annual performance evaluation of city administrator Matt Look. The council decided to continue this evaluation for one cycle to this December 22nd, 2025 meeting. The city council will now enter into closed session under Minnesota Statute Chapter 13D.05, Subdivision 3A, to continue the performance evaluation of the city administrator of Matlock.
If I may, Mr. Mayor, I forgot to write in there, ask for a motion and call a vote to go closed session.
Yep.
I'll go and make a motion, go into closed session for the reasons that the mayor's indicated.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are now in closed session.
of there. Yep.
Where's Brian?
He's in the bathroom.
Okay, City Council will now reopen the public meeting following the closed session held under Minnesota Statutes Chapter 13D-05, Subdivision 3A, for the purpose of evaluating the performance of the city administrator, Matt Look. I need a motion to reopen the meeting.
I'll make a motion to open the meeting.
Second?
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. During the closed session, the city council reviewed the performance of the city administrator, excuse me. The council stated that it has been satisfied with the evaluation with the city administrator's performance and are looking forward to 2026. We're going to need a motion to amend the agenda for the contract.
Make a motion, amend the contract, amend the agenda for the contract.
Second?
Second. Any further discussion on it? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Congratulations, Matt.
So,
Oh, we haven't voted on it yet.
yeah.
You got one fan out there.
So all we need now is a motion for the contract, right?
Maybe I misheard. I thought that's what I just heard you move to.
That was just to amend the agenda.
Oh, yes, yes. Then a motion to approve the contract that's in the staff report.
So I'll entertain a motion to award the contract to a city administrator.
I'll make a motion to approve the Matt Look as city administrator contract for the year of 2026.
Second?
We have a motion, second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is closed.
Merry Christmas, everyone.